Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. So the SGX Nifty is now down almost 71 odd points. It was a brutal sell-off that we saw in the Dow, down over 650 points. The cryptos have seen a huge carnage, and that rub-off impact is what you're seeing in our own markets as well. But we've been standing tall. So is this a time to buy the dips? Is this the time to step aside? Sudarshan Sukhani, the technical analyst, and Mitessh Thakkar, proprietor at earningwaves.com, joins in. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Sudarshan, let me start with you. What do you do at a time like this? Do you buy the dip or do you wait a bit? Because there is some important data coming out later in the evening from the US.
Well, I think today we wait a bit. That data is coming. Markets can change. Just, some election results can go favorable. Markets may ignore the election results finally. So many things can happen. But the fact remains that yesterday was a weak day, and just before that on Monday, the markets made a low, bounced back, but earlier the lows were being bought into. For the last 2 days, that has not happened. So it's much better to wait patiently and let the market decide its next course of action. I would assume that we'll still be in an uptrend, and this is probably a consolidation, but let's find out that message from the market. So for me, today is ideally a patient, step aside day, and for the Nifty as well as for the Bank Nifty.
Okay, all right. Step aside is what Sudarshan says, and maybe the match as well in the second half will, take most of the eyeballs. But Mitessh, what do you say? We're likely to start off with a gap down. Would you be looking at buying into the Nifty, or do you as well want to step aside?
Nigel, I think yesterday in the last hour, what was happening for a couple of days ago was that we will have some kind of recovery towards the end of the session. Now, that didn't happen yesterday, and we saw mild weakness coming in the indicator charts on the hourly and the 2 hourly basis. So my sense is that this correction could be slightly more deeper. It could give a stronger pullback than what we've seen in the last few days. And therefore, immediately buying after a 50-point gap down may not be a good idea. I think the key supports which I would watch on the downside would be closer to about 18,000 and then 17,850. So around 18,000, we'll see if there's some kind of semblance of a reversal happening. Then I think a long can be taken.
Okay, what about individual stocks? What are we looking at this morning? Sudarshan, let me start with you.
Well, we are still looking to buy wherever it is appropriate, because the trend has not changed. So for individual stocks, there are buying opportunities. Cummins is a buy. Cummins had a very decent rally in the last few weeks, and that should continue. Buy with a stop loss under 1300. Dr. Lal Pathlab is an intraday short. Yesterday it had a very big down day, and it's been a slight underperformer. That's an intraday, my only short candidate with a stop above 2450. Hero MotoCorp, I heard you talk about it in a different context, is a buying opportunity. The stock has been trading in a range, and that range appears to have some bullish overtones. So that's a buy with a stop under 2575. And finally, UBL is another buying opportunity. It's in a trading range. That range is on the verge of breaking on the upside. So UB United Breweries is a buy with a stop under 1640.
Mitessh, what about you? What are your trading ideas?
Yeah. So I would look at a mix of buy and sell calls today. On the buying side is AU Bank on a mild decline around 635, 636. Buy here with a stop at 624 for targets of 665. And Bosch had a good breakout. That's a buy with a stop below 16,900 for targets of 18,000. On the sell side is Godrej Properties. Keep a stop at 1190. Look for targets of 1130. And Jubilant Foods had a breakdown. That's a sell with a stop at 577 for a target of 540.
Okay, by the way, folks, I don't want to, state it out loud, but everyone knows that in Adelaide, apparently there is a huge cloud cover. So there could be rains, it could be a washout. I'm not stating it. I'm just saying that, temper your excitement a little bit.
What happens in that case?
So 130 becomes 3. It's only a starting point, right?
Okay, so we can track it after all, right? After a full day of watching the markets. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll come back with the pre-opening rates. We'll also have Venkat Jasti of Suven Pharma to discuss their Q2 numbers. Stay tuned.